Welcome to the College Financial Aid Challenge. We are going to dive right in today, and we are here today to talk about negotiating for more money. So, one of the things I've realized over 22 years of doing this is parents don't realize that they don't have to accept the offer that the school makes them. They don't have to accept the first offer that the school makes them. Now, if you've watched any of the previous videos, you know that colleges engage, according to Money Magazine, 67% of private schools and 37% of public schools engage in something called financial aid leveraging, a process by which they are going to use to determine what is the minimal amount of financial aid they can offer your child and still get you to attend. They're literally trying to give you as little as possible, because think about it. If college gives student A $10,000 a year in aid to get them to come, and they give $50,000 a year in aid to get college financial aid to get student B to come, which student is more profitable for them? Student A, right? Why wouldn't they want more profitable students to make money? Even though they might be a public or a private public institution, they are still in business to make money. So, given that most likely they're going to offer you less than you are entitled to in an attempt to make more free profit for themselves, how do we then, as parents, get more money? Well, there's a number of different strategies. We've talked about ways to lower your expected family contribution. So you look poorer on paper and you qualify for more financial need-based financial aid. We've talked about student positioning for merit-based financial aid. Again, the two types of financial aid: need-based, which is based on your expected family contribution and your financial situation, and merit-based financial aid. Merit-based financial aid is based on how much the school wants your student to attend. So that could be based on academics, it could be athletics, it could be an honors program, it could be a special degree program, it could be based on what ethnicity and minority checkboxes or gender checkboxes you meet for that school. So let's assume that none of those worked as well as we needed them to, and we need to get more money from the school. So the first thing you have to do is, if you negotiate as a emotional parent, keep in mind your child is one of hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, God knows how many students applying or attending that school all at the same time. So in the financial aid and admissions department, it all blurs together. And they are just professionals trying to do their job. They work for a boss. They have a department. They have quotas and numbers they've got to meet. It's not personal. If you make it personal and you are an emotional parent calling them, it doesn't work as well. They're just trying to do their job. So it helps if you play the game the way they would like it played. So the first thing I want to teach you is you need to find out how they want to receive communication. So given the COVID situation, the first thing I would recommend is send an email to the financial aid department asking how they want to receive communications with them. And the communication you are asking about is an appeal. How would you prefer we send in our financial aid appeal? Some of them will say an email is fine. Some schools want a physical letter in the mail. Some schools will accept a fax. Then once they tell you, you have to follow directions. And if they say we want it in writing in the mail, overnight, ask for a FedEx or an overnight address, and then FedEx the appeal letter. Now, if you can send it via email, if they say email's okay, then send the same. I would send both. I would send the email because they'll get it instantly. And then I would also FedEx a hard copy, make sure someone has to sign for it. So then you know that they got it. You know when they got it. You know who signed for it. On the email, I would add it, if possible, if your email service provider allows, a delivered receipt and a read receipt. So you know when it arrived and when somebody actually read it. That is also helpful. You want to create a paper trail or a electronic trail or both in an ideal world. Now, what should go in that appeal letter? So there's two types of appeals. There's the financial appeal and the merit appeal. So the need-based appeal is if the school awarded you less than they should have on the need-based financial aid side. So if there is the cost of attendance, the retail sticker price of the school, minus your expected family contribution equals your family need or the gap, they will assume you can afford your EFC. Even though you may not be able to, which is normal, they won't, they think that, again, that's a federal formula. They base everything off of that. So if your EFC is $30,000 a year, telling them I can't even afford $30,000 a year is going to be harder to achieve a successful outcome. They might give you more merit-based money depending on the school. They might find some other money for you, but they're going to assume that you can meet your EFC. If you can't, you have to be able to, which is normal, you have to, and you want to include that you can't meet even the EFC, you kind of have to prove that on paper. So if you submitted like a family budget, if you submitted banking records showing, listen, here's our money coming into our household every month, here's our money going out, we don't have an extra $30,000, that might help. Now, the next part is showing them where else, if possible, your student's been accepted. Hey, Johnny really wants to come to the University of to Yale. He's also been accepted at Harvard, Princeton, MIT, and Stanford in this imaginary example. Ivy Leagues in Cornell, every Ivy League school. He has offers from all 5 of these schools. He really wants to come to you. And then if this part is true, include it. Some of the other offers are higher than yours. I know you don't match offers, but if you could help us find some more financial aid, Johnny would really like to come to your school. We need to close the gap a little bit more. So again, you have to put in there that you know they don't match offers, because the first thing every school is going to tell you is it's not a car lot where they match the sticker price. We don't match offers. They don't match. That's a bad word. That's why we say, I know you don't match offers, but they may magically help you find other money. It shows your student is desirable by having offers from other schools. You might reiterate great SAT scores, great grades, great extracurriculars, kind of building that case for more money and why he's a desirable student. Then there is the merit-based side of financial aid. And again, this isn't based on the money. You may be attending a school where they don't provide any more need-based money. Or on the financial side, they might have under-awarded you. So you need to know the numbers. You need to know what percentage of need, that gap, does the school normally meet, and what percentage is gift aid versus self-help aid. And if they normally provide 50% of the gap and they only offered you 25% of the gap, you can say, hey, it looks like you normally provide 50% of the gap. It looks like you only awarded us 25%. Maybe there was a clerical error. Maybe it got overlooked. If you could help us get the rest of the way there, that'd be great. Be really appreciated, and Johnny could come to your school. So that's the financial side. The merit-based side is all about how much they want their student, your student. So again, this is making the case about why he or she would be a great addition to the school, academics, extracurriculars, how much he's looking forward to going, he or she is looking forward to going there, all of the reasons, kind of reselling them on why they made a smart decision to admit your student in the first place, and why they really, really want them there. Because you're competing against all of the other incoming freshmen, some of whom are going to pay full sticker price and can afford it, some of whom have different financial needs than you do, some of whom have different academics and merit capabilities than you do. You need to stand out. And given the fact that most parents are just going to blindly accept the offer and not do anything at all, there's a whole lot of free money on the table that you have a shot at getting. So you are going to email and find out how they want to receive the appeal and then send it that way. If you can't get a response to your email, you could FedEx the appeal letter directly. And then if you then call, then email to follow up with the letter, the appeal. And then if nobody's still responding to you, then and only then would I pick up the phone as a parent and call to discuss it with them. When you do call, if you do call, if you're looking for more merit-based money, that's not the financial aid department. That's the admissions department. Admissions awards merit-based money. So if you're looking for more merit money, you have to start with the admissions department. If it's a need-based financial aid question, that would go to the actual financial aid office. So if you're calling admissions, you have to find the admissions counselor who has assigned to your child. Some schools, if you give them your kid's name and birthday, they'll pull up the file and then they'll get the individual officer who's assigned to them, and you can talk to that person who can make a decision for you. Some schools don't assign individual officers. Anybody who answers can talk to you. You want to find out which is which. Then if you're calling the financial aid department, again, there might be a specific person who's assigned to your child, or it might just be whoever's on the team who answers can pull you up and talk to you. You want to try and be as objective and rational as possible. Again, it's not personal. They're just doing their jobs. You want to iterate that you know that you're just trying to, hey, I'm just trying to understand. It looks like you normally meet 50% of need historically. Just kind of curious how we got this number. If maybe there's something was overlooked, we'd really like to come to your school. If you could, help us find the rest of that money, that'd be great. We'd really, really appreciate it. So again, if you're calm, if you're nice, if you're polite, if you're respectful, you have a much, much better shot of getting your appeals granted. They always usually want to see them in writing first. If you call without sending something via email or in writing, if you call and just try and plead your appeal over the phone, you're probably going to get less money than if they officially have it in their records. I don't have statistics on that, but it's just something that we've seen. So that's kind of the negotiation process if you're handling it on your own. Or we can do it all for you, in which case we're happy to negotiate with the schools. We speak their language and happy to write the appeal letter for you, handle that, send the emails, make the phone calls, and be the objective third party who represents you negotiating on your behalf. So if you would like to get a free analysis to determine what is your expected family contribution, what should the schools have given you, or what should the schools give your child next year or the year after, and can we change those numbers for you at all, then you're going to go to the link on your screen, bit.ly/college schedule. The C and the S are capitalized. It is case sensitive. It won't work if they're not capitalized. Or you can go to howtofindmoneyforcollege.com and register to watch our 45 to 9, I think it's about a 90-minute training video where we just trained an entire high school. We trained, I think, about 30 families. A school counselor invited us on to do a Zoom webinar for their school. We had about 30 families that we did an in-depth class on this for. Happy to get you access to that at howtofindmoneyforcollege.com. Happy to bring that to your school as well. So again, bit.ly/college schedule or howtofindmoneyforcollege.com. And we will see you back here tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern for the next day of the challenge.